So I believe in my first video, or maybe it was a video I never released, I talked about how I wanted to make a channel that talked about many different topics in entertainment, such as video games, animation, manga, and movie/television. And I think with my 2 Shin Megami Tensei videos, I've now found the format in which I want to do this. For one, I want to work up to where each video is around 8 to 10 minutes, which is honestly the length of the videos I watch these days. Long enough for the algorithm, and also long enough to get all the information I want to convey without crossing into the territory of unnecessary fluff. Not that super long videos are bad or anything, I just think it takes a specific creator and or specific topic to keep people's attention for longer. And at least right now, I'm not that guy.
You're not that guy, pal, trust me. You're not that guy.
I want to make videos that, and I know this sounds a bit pretentious, but I want to make videos that extract the essence of whatever I'm talking about. Because it's nice that there are creators that go into every little detail of something in order to make their audience completely informed. Some topics absolutely need this. But I want to sort of flip it, where I want to give people the bare minimum and have them discover the details for themselves. Maybe this is the computer scientist in me, but I've always learned more when I'm given a reasonable starting point, but it's up to me to build upon that starting point. Like for example, in my SMT4 video, I mostly talked about the setting and how it blew me away because I didn't know much about it going into the game. So I might be giving you more information than even I had, but there are many details that I'm leaving out intentionally for discovery purposes. Now, let's continue the journey by going all the way back to my very first game I ever played, Mario Kart 64. Time to get a little personal. My stepfather, who I'll refer to as my actual father from now on, is the person who got me into gaming. Gonna just cut the joke about being black and my biological father.
And I understand that you have a father. Well, I've never heard of your father, so he must not have been very good.
Anyway, this is my very first memory of him. He and his friend were doing something with the television. They were playing Mario Kart 64, and I specifically remember them playing the balloon mode. I had never played, and I don't even remember seeing, a video game before this point, but from that moment onward, I've been a gamer. Now, I never asked my dad more about this, but the N64 essentially became mine from that day forward, which is weird because I don't remember anyone ever saying it was mine. Maybe my dad was just trying to impress my mom or something. But yeah, Mario Kart 64. I've played Gran Turismo, Forza, and maybe one other simulation racing game, but for some reason I've never really been as interested in them as I am with kart racers. And maybe it goes back to the fact that it was my very first genre I played, but I've played Diddy Kong Racing and Nicktoon Racing just to name a couple. The memory of those games are burned into my brain, but it all circles back to the formula that Mario Kart popularized, and I think it boils down to 3 components. First component is the racers. In a lot of racing games, I don't really associate the driver with their vehicle, unless they always use that vehicle. In kart racers, I absolutely do. If Luigi is pissing me off, for example, I can quickly parse out where he is and who the driver is, whether it be someone I'm playing with in real life or their gamer tag. If someone changes characters, as long as I know who they are playing as, it's much easier for me than memorizing a bunch of vehicle models. And on a deeper level, I find it more interesting knowing the types of characters that people like to play as versus what vehicles they like to drive. Another component to Mario Kart that I enjoy is sort of a double-edged sword, and that is rubber banding. On one hand, I don't like that I can drive a perfect race, but because of the rubber banding that exists primarily from items, I might end up getting screwed due to no fault of my own. But I also can sympathize with those that are more casual and want to feel like they have a chance at winning against the less casual players. And at the end of the day, this isn't supposed to be a simulation racer, so my perfect Mario Kart would be where there are still items, but you remove the ones that auto-lock, such as blue and red shells, because there's nothing worse than when you lose one or more positions just because someone pressed a single button without any thought put behind it, versus someone just saving a mushroom and using it at the perfect moment, or using it because they are in last place and just want to catch up to the person one position ahead of them. And the last component I want to talk about is the tracks. With the cartoony nature of kart racers, both in art style and gameplay, you can create tracks that you wouldn't be able to if it was a realistic simulation racing game. I love tracks that either have a bunch of ramps and or there are a bunch of turns because I like drifting. I also like the different themes such as the desert where you can get stuck in sand, or tracks where you can go under and out of water. That paired with the fact that most of the themes are based off specific games with matching music from those games is the icing on the cake. So I realized after I was done recording that I didn't really talk about Mario Kart 64 specifically, rather Mario Kart as a whole, and I think I'm okay with that. I'm not gonna act like I can remember the small differences between each game, but I still wanted to add a bit more about Mario Kart 64 specifically. As you can see, I played through the N64 application on the Switch, and the game played and looks exactly the way I remembered it. Obviously, the visuals aren't anywhere near the level of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, but I think gameplay-wise, the controls are still pretty smooth. The one thing that stood out as being something I didn't remember is the difficulty. I know I haven't played in a while, but I don't remember 100cc being this difficult. I felt like I had to go a bit try hard to get first place. But anyway, that's about it. Now back to the outro. But with that last component, I think that's everything I've ever wanted to say about Mario Kart. Not sure how long this video is going to be, but I'm still in the mindset that I want to end the video if I no longer have anything more to say. I did say at the start that I'm working towards 8 to 10 minutes, so it's going to be a work in progress. Thank you for watching. Please leave a like and subscribe if you haven't, and I'll see you in whatever I feel like talking about next. Peace.